if I told you that it's actually easier to sell $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 coaching programs than $1,000 or $500 programs, okay? So the reason with so many coaches that they're not able to charge this amount of money is because they're actually stuck in something called a commodity trap, okay? A commodity trap is when you're competing on other factors outside of the actual quality of your product or service. Look at the gold market, for example. Gold from the US, gold from Europe is all the same. It's all gold. Gold is gold, so therefore whoever can sell gold the cheapest will win. Why? Because you're in an uncommoditized market. So lots of fitness and health providers are stuck in this commodity trap where they're competing on pricing, competing on other things, competing on trying to make their audience bigger. Oh, I want more followers on TikTok, more followers on Instagram because I'm gonna make more money, okay? So in today's video, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through my uncommoditization process, where pretty much if you follow the steps here, you'll be able to get clients that pay you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 online and actually be able to provide the value 10x of the actual initial investment. Because you can't just go on and say, hey, my program is $5,000 to $6,000 because Alex Hormozi told me to charge high ticket online, okay? You can't do that. You have to justify the logic of the pricing, okay? So today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna walk you through my process of uncommoditization. It's gonna be a longer form video. Sit back, put the phone away, take the phone, put on Do Not Disturb, put it away, out of mind, out of sight, get a notepad, stick with me. We're gonna dive into it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so in today's video, I'm going to be telling you and explaining to you why logically it is easier to sell $5,000 coaching programs, $6,000, $7,000. I'll even argue $10,000 coaching programs rather than $250, $500, $500 a month, low ticket recurring, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so pretty much what I'm going to show you is how I've scaled myself and my clients to $50,000 weeks, $50,000 a month myself, $50,000 a month myself, several clients to 6 figures monthly, by pretty much kind of using this thought process. I understand from the get-go that when you hear, oh, it's easier to sell $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 programs than $500 ones, off the jump, a lot of people will have resistance to that thought process, okay? Because like on paper, it sounds easier. Something's cheaper. This is cheaper than this. Therefore, more people will buy it, right? And you have to first realize what game you're playing, what market you're in, okay? What arena are you in, number one? Because if you're playing in an arena where you can only use certain weaponry, or you can only use X or Y or Z, then you're playing a totally different game if you're in another arena where you can't use those things, etc. Okay? So the market, what arena you're playing in, how you're fighting in that arena, all dictates other things, okay? Which we're gonna jump into, which a lot of people don't discuss. So let's jump into it. Alrighty. So right now in today's fitness market, 94% of fitness providers in the space are just flat out broke, okay? And they still have no idea why, okay? They're stuck running in place, making just enough to get by, working 60, 70, 80, like 12-hour days, 15-hour days. They just keep adding more volume to their days, more hours to their day, putting in huge inputs while barely getting anything out in return. I used to be in the same spot where I was working 16 hours a day, basically working 16 hours a day, going to bed, getting 7 hours of sleep, waking up, working 16 hours, going to bed, same thing over and over. And I was only making like 7 to 10 grand a month, okay? And it really doesn't have to be like this, okay? It really doesn't have to be like this because so many people glorify the grind, they glorify their inputs, they glorify, oh, I work 16 hours a day, or even this 9 to 5 culture of you have to be in the office from 9 to 5 to work 8 hours every single day, even though how long you work doesn't matter. It matters how many specific inputs matter, how many specific inputs are you putting in that are revenue generating and actually have an output, okay? Because overall, looking at most businesses, most people, they're focusing on so many tasks, they're drowning themselves in volume and tasks that are not actually revenue generating or don't have a direct output on that input. People fucking around with emails, people fucking around with doing dumb methods of outreach, dumb methods of marketing, posting all day on social media while they're still not making that much money. organizing their back-end Google Drive, making a morning routine that makes them feel good, going to Home Depot and buying an ice bath so that when they wake up in the morning, they can take an ice bath so it makes them feel good in the morning. Is that revenue generating? Or going to the gym for 4 hours a day? Is that revenue generating? Okay? Like specific things that people just kind of flood their calendar with to make themselves feel busy but not actually get anything done. Okay? So before I explain why it's easier to hit 5 figures a month by working less, you need to understand what's happening in the market currently because, like I said, everything's dictated by the actual arena you're playing in. Okay? And where I kind of got these thought concepts from was actually Tim Ferriss. Okay, so Tim Ferriss is he's an author, he's an investor, he's an early investor in Uber. He actually, quick story about him, he earlier on in his career, or not even earlier on, but he pretty much got this call and they were like, hey, there's this company and it's called Uber and you should invest in it. Okay. And he threw 100 grand in it, and now that 100 grand is worth like, I don't know, several $1 million, like multiple, I think eight plus figures. I don't know about 9, but quite a bit of money. You can, that was back early 2000 or 2010, 2014, I don't know, something around there. Okay. And the thing Tim Ferriss preaches a lot is about this running in place. Okay. You're moving, you're running in place, but you're not actually going anywhere. Okay. And what are the things that are keeping you in that place? People working 9 to 5s. Okay, you're working 8 hours a day, but let's say you tell your boss, hey boss, I'm working 8 hours a day. I'm so busy, okay, but I'm not actually getting anything done, but I'm still doing 8-hour days. Your boss is going to be like, oh, you're still working hard, so blah, blah, blah. But if you tell your same boss, hey boss, I'm working 2 hours a day, but I'm getting everything done, that boss is going to fire you, okay? So same thing in your business, okay? You kind of, we have this 9 to 5 mindset of, oh, we got to put volume in. Well, yes, volume is important, but what is the right volume, okay? Cool. So let's look at the actual arena that we're playing in, specifically within health, within fitness, and specifically health and fitness coaching, okay? All right, okay. So pretty much what happened is if you're in the health or fitness space, since COVID, like the market pretty much got kind of, I don't want to say destroyed, but it took a hard 180, kind of 90-degree turn in a sense, okay? So since COVID, hundreds of thousands of in-person coaches, like gym owners, people in the health and fitness space that weren't online, or people even who had fitness experience per se, kind of all rushed into the online space, okay? So they were like, oh, we're in person, gyms are shut down, I can't work in person, let's go online, okay? So thousands of people began posting online, they began running ads or trying to push people into a coaching offer. Hey, you want to lose fat, you want to gain muscle, whatever. Join my program, it's whatever, okay? And since 2021, this number has only increased, as we've seen year after year. Even more people flood into this space, okay? Due to this huge spike of new competition, the market became even more selective, okay? The arena that we're playing in became more selective. So imagine an arena, just to show you an example. No, I can't even switch tabs because my Loom is finicky. But pretty much imagine if you're in an arena, okay? The Coliseum, for example. You're a gladiator within the Coliseum. And the market is the people who are watching the people fight. That's the market, okay? And let's say you come in and you're a gladiator and you have a sword, okay? And you're fighting another gladiator who also has a sword. That market has seen that before. They're bored of that, okay? So the market's becoming even more selective, and now the people who are fighting have to be better to make the market react more, okay? So now let's say you come in and you have 2 swords and it's a 4v4 with tigers coming in, lions coming in. Now the market is like, oh my God, this is new. I'm going to select for this instead of something old and boring. Okay, so same thing, the arena matters more. Okay, so the exact same process of selection is the same thing even we see in nature with evolution, for example. Okay, so for example, with month 1 here, let's say we have a few different mice. So we have white mice and black mice. Okay, and there's the eagle, which is the selective force. So the eagle is the predator. Okay. And the eagle can only see the black mice because, for example, in this case, the black mice can't blend into the background. They don't have camouflage, whatever, okay? Month 1, month 2, month 3, third month rolls around, this selective force, the predator, is only going to take out the black mice, okay? Same thing we're seeing in fitness, Okay? So with this example above, we can see the variation of white and black mice in month one. Then month after month, we witness that the eagle can only spot the black mice. After month three, full population of only white mice and not black mice. Okay, so we're gonna actually be seeing this. This is not like a process that happens overnight. This is a process that not even happens even on a monthly level. Sure, in a sense, on a monthly level, we're seeing this even happen even more with more selective pressures, more people running ads, more people entering the marketplace, more people with coaching offers, Alex Hormozi with school, all these sort of things coming into the marketplace. Okay, it's even getting more selective, and we're seeing this process get hyper accelerated. So it's an exponential process. Okay, and whenever there's an increase of variation or simply more participants in the market will quickly select for the most suited participants, same as that arena. Okay, so right now we're operating in something called a red ocean. There are thousands of different participants in today's market, with the number only increasing. We are seeing this through something called the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle was actually made by it was an economist back in, I believe, the 1800s, and he pretty much stated that 80% of the market outputs were dictated by 20% of the market inputs. Okay, so and the same thing, 20% of inputs leads to 20% of outputs. Same thing is happening with the market. Okay, so within the fitness industry, the same laws apply. Only roughly 20% of the fitness coaches, influencers, brands, whatever, all these people will produce around 80% of the market output. This means that only out of 10 businesses within the space, only 2 will actually be successful. Okay? So for me, after working with hundreds of businesses within fitness, health, supplement brands, in-person locations, I've worked with pretty much almost kind of every business within health and fitness that you can kind of think of, every vertical, like in-person gyms, in-person solo personal training, micro gyms, CrossFit gyms, supplement brands. I've worked with a few like semaglutide, Ozempic style kind of brands selling supplements. I've worked with brands kind of like that, influencers, coaches, chiropractors online, all these sort of businesses. I've kind of deciphered between the difference between the winning models and the losing models. Okay, so the difference between the winners and the losers are pretty much a few different things. Okay, so pretty much there are 2 models. There's the model 1, which is a loser, then the model 2, which is the winner. Okay, model 1, people seem to be doing everything right. Their business looks perfect on paper. Okay, this person may have amassed a large audience on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. They might have clients. Maybe they're making 5K a month. Maybe they're making 10K a month. Okay, but they're stuck in something called the commodity trap. Okay, and the commodity trap occurs when your business is viewed as a replaceable commodity. So a commodity is something that is the same as everyone else. So the only other thing you compete on is price. For example, let's say you are selling a precious metal like gold. Gold from this location to this location is the same thing. If you buy gold in Argentina or if you buy gold in the States, the gold is gold. Okay, I know there's different stamping methods where banks will stamp their, it's gold from this bank or gold from this bank, but all in all, gold is gold. Okay, you can melt it from a watch, you can melt it down from jewelry, and that gold in gram value is going to be gold no matter where you get it from. So the only other way to compete if you're selling gold is by price. Okay, so that's an example of a commodity. Okay, and this is what happens within people's businesses. So your offer is so similar to that of their competition within the space that consumers will disregard the offer as a whole, even if you have a large following, your pricing is competitive, you have a nice physique, okay, you have social proof. All this stuff doesn't really matter when your offer is so the same, your market is so the same, what you're doing is so the same. Okay, I've talked to so many people. I was recently talking with this guy, booked a call with me. 300 and I think 400,000, just under 400,000 followers on Instagram. Got on a call with them. Hey, dude, you have 400,000 followers. Why do you need help? How much are you making? He's like, oh, I'm only making around 10K a month. How are you making 10K a month with 400,000 followers on Instagram? See, our mindset is so accustomed to large audience, lots of money, when a lot of the times this is just not the case. Okay, look at me. I have 700 fucking subscribers on YouTube. I don't have a large following. I think I have like 1,500 followers on Instagram, but the principles stay the same. Okay, I am uncommoditized. I'm doing something different. I am totally outside of this commoditization trap. Therefore, I can make a lot more than a lot of these people who are, doing these kind of oh, large following, oh, more volume, or oh, here's my cool pricing model. You know what I mean? So pretty much right now, coaches are trying to appeal to everyone and literally everyone and anyone who want to buy their services, and this is just the wrong way to do it. Okay? So their philosophy is that by having a larger target market and less boundaries of prospects, we'll have more potential clients and potential revenue. The reality is that this will never transform from potential into reality, and it will always stay a dream in the situation because of their mispositioning. Okay? So when you have kind of this everyone approach, this commoditization approach, it's pretty much a fancy word for kind of being unspecialized. Okay? And being unspecialized comes with a number of problems, including, but kind of not limited to, you'll have a harder time finding clients, even though you think you might, even though you might think it'll be easier to take a shotgun approach, kind of target anyone. Oh, I'm going to target a larger amount of people. I'm going to target this person, this person, this person, therefore more revenue, more people targeted, more people in my arena I have, and therefore I'm going to make more money. In reality, it actually is kind of the opposite approach, specifically within this market, okay? Because when you take the target everyone approach, you end up actually targeting nobody, as nobody resonates with your message to a profound enough level to buy. And they don't feel personally targeted and will therefore almost never purchase your program or coaching specifically from you, okay? In all, a man who chases two rabbits catches neither, okay? Number two, an inability to charge higher prices. Since you are not an expert on one problem for one specific person, you'll have an inability to charge higher prices due to be seen as replaceable and not an expert. Okay? Look at surgeons, for example. If you're a cardiovascular surgeon that does specific surgeries for, athletes, for example, you will be able to charge premium pricing because you focus on one solution. You've done it 1,000 times. Okay? You won't be seen as an expert, won't be taken seriously, which also leads to having a high churn rate where clients will leave more often than not. Okay? If you have a high churn rate, good luck. Your marketing is out the window now because you're getting all these clients. Cool, but are you keeping them? No, that sucks. Okay? Number four, another big problem is since you are not targeting one specific ideal client and you're taking in a huge variety of different clients with unique goals, now you have to create new processes for each person. And on top of this, taking huge amounts of time, it also makes it impossible to validate one process because of the lack of data you have. Taking on a client here, a client there, and they all have different goals and different things they want to do, then now, how are you going to validate that system? Okay, because you're making new systems for each different client goal. Okay, long story short, you'll begin to lose hope and confidence in yourself, your product, your business, everything. Okay, and you'll just kind of slowly, psychologically go into this cycle downwards and just lose. Okay, so when you are kind of doing this approach, you're taking low prices, you're falling into this commodity trap where your market is not specific, your offer is not specific, and your pricing is broad. You're just going to get low people who are just there, who can afford low prices, who have less revenue, and people who are there for just low prices. Because of that, you're going to have less revenue, no money left from marketing to invest back into marketing, to invest back into fulfillment, and bad results for a client that are just going to make you, look broke as well because your clients are going to have bad results. You're not going to be able to invest these client results, get more case studies so that you can invest it back into marketing, and you're just stuck in this low price effect. Okay? So all in all, why do you need to be specialized? What does specialized even mean? Okay? So rather than having an anyone market, we center ourselves in the middle of one specific problem with a specific person. Okay? For example, I help anyone. Okay? I'm going to get this is my circle. This is my market. Person here, person here, person here. Each person is different. Dad that wants to lose weight, mom that wants help with hormones, kid who wants to gain muscle for a bodybuilding show, lady who wants to tone up. Okay? You're helping anyone. Instead of doing that, you're helping a specific segment of the market reach a specific problem in a specific time. And that all has to be specific. Okay? So you pretty much select that specific person. So you select your market, fitness market. Okay, now narrow it again. Okay, I want to help dads. What do you want to help dads with? I want to help dads lose, who are over 40. Okay, Now I want to help dads over 40 lose 30 pounds, okay, in 90 days. You're just making the circle smaller, smaller, smaller. And people who reach out to you outside of that, you're going to say, hey, no thanks, okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to take discipline. You're going to say no thanks, okay? You're going to choose an extremely narrow problem and a narrow person to do this, okay? Right? And pretty much, all in all, by doing this and becoming specialized, you'll be viewed in a totally different lens, okay? Because this is kind of a hard truth that a lot of people haven't really come to terms with. But a lot of the times, and this is what happens all the time, is within the fitness, health, coaching space, we are largely viewed on our public perception. How people view us is very important than a lot of the times, specifically what we actually provide, okay? And you want to really be careful about how you are viewed, because if you're viewed as the person who helps anyone with anything, you're just viewed as unspecialized. How you're perceived is oftentimes equivalent or even more important than what you actually provide, okay? So by doing this and becoming specialized, you'll be viewed in a totally different lens, which is very hyper important, okay? I get people who jump on calls with me and they're like, dude, I know that you are a specialist within the health and fitness niche, not within contractors or not within this specific niche or this specific. I know you are a specialist within this niche. Therefore, I know what process you're doing is a process that works, okay? So all in all, you'll no longer be viewed as a commodity, something that's replaceable, okay? Pricing is irrelevant as they're looking for the best solution and not the cheapest price, okay? For example, you think someone who's going and buying a Porsche GT3 is worried about spending $20,000 extra on getting an exhaust kit and the sports package on their GT3? No, okay? Why? Because they're going to buy that GT3, that Porsche GT3, because the GT3 is the best option. You know, hypothetically, we're just speaking. This is my opinion. I think the Porsche GT3 is a great car. The best option, price aside, okay? When you're spending $500,000 on a car, you're not worried about, oh, I'm going to have to spend $550,000 or $600,000 or $50,000 extra more. It's like, no, I want this car because it is the best in the market, okay? Because it's specialized, and pricing power is and price is kind of out the window. Rather than when you're buying a Toyota Camry, those people that are buying cars around that Toyota Camry are going to go look at all the cars. Oh, this one's $5,000 cheaper. It's the best option for me. I'm worried about price, okay? So automatically, you're going to be viewed as an expert due to being so precise. You're going to have an easier time getting clients and way less objections on sales calls. This is a big thing. I talk about sales. I talk that, yes, you know, you have to know how to handle objections. You have to know how to be good at sales. But at the end of the day, why would you even want to handle objections if you can just be an uncommoditized person and not have to deal with them in the first place, okay? You're going to have the ability to charge more being specialized, okay? You're going to have the ability to quickly validate one system. This is going to save an enormous amount of time, and you could charge more due to having a proven system for that specific market. You're going to have the ability to leverage your money and clients to scale, your client results, to then cycle those wins. Let's say you get 10 wins from your 10 clients that you have. You can take those wins and throw them on ads and throw them on your social media profiles. People are going to see that, oh my God, this guy is the best. It's proven, okay? And all in all, when you're charging high prices, you're going to have high quality, committed customers. You're going to have more money that you're going to be able from those high-paying customers to invest in the back end. More money to invest in marketing. More money to go buy a cool car. More money to go on trips, treat your family. Things that matter outside of business, okay? Better results for your customers, and you also look like you're winning. Like I said, perceived status, perceived image, okay? So when you switch from model one, which is a loser, to this model where you're a winner, you escape the commodity trap and enter leveraged ascension, okay? So you're not a commodity. You solve every obstacle at a precise level, very specifically for that specific person. You have a no-brainer offer, leverage fulfillment, and you charge high ticket for it. You can now afford superstar talent, superstar systems, infrastructure, invest back in media and code, which are another form of leverage. you can now get more client results, retain these clients, etc. Okay? So, all in all, a leverage position also means, this is outside of business as well, you work less. Okay? Due to being able to validate one process quickly, you don't need to create a new process for each client. You can therefore remove 50% or more of the workload. Okay? So people sometimes like working a lot. People say, oh, like I said at the start of this presentation, I take value because I work 16-hour days and I'm such a workhorse. I'm a grinder. I just grind all the time. That's amazing. But if you said that you grind all the time and you're making a couple $1 million a year, awesome. Congratulations. It's working. Okay. But if you're in this state where you're making 10K, 5K, 15K a month and you're just stuck grinding, it's not that impressive. Okay. You can spend this time with family, be able to travel, or do what you always wished you could do. Okay? Because at the end of the day, what are we doing business for? Why are we doing business? What's the point of this? Okay? Like, what's the point of us running a business? Is it just to work all day? Is it just to sit behind a laptop and just, work and just say, hey, we just work all day and then we're going to go and die? No, there's a specific reason. We want to be able to do things outside of business that we actually enjoy. Okay? Number two, we can charge more. Since you have validated a process with an archetype, it's worth much more to them since it is built for them and proven to work for them. Have the ability to charge more as your product resonates with them and they feel like you can understand them and fix their specific problem. When you're on a sales call and you say, hey, I've taken on 30 other clients just like you this month who are in the exact same position as you, who are looking for the exact same outcome as you, that is way more influential than getting on a sales call and saying, hey, I took on 30 other people this month, and they were all different. That is leverage. Okay? You can now charge more for less work, travel the world, spend time with family, etc. Okay? So how do I know this? Like, you may be listening to this, Ashton, how do you know this? Like, how is this something that you think you're an expert in? Oh my God, you're an expert. Oh my God, you're an expert. Cool. Like, why are you an expert? You're preaching like you're this God. Why are you an expert? Okay. So a few years back when I first started, I made like all of these mistakes, like literally all of them. Like, it's only when I stopped relying on what everyone was doing, like everyone was saying, oh, you got to do all this sort of stuff. You got to do Facebook funnel. You got to do this funnel. You got to do this pricing strategy. Okay. Stopped relying on what everyone was doing, but I could look at it from a realistic standpoint and figured out what was wrong. Okay? I'm getting a ton of text right now. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay? And figured out actually what was wrong. Okay? Now, all this looks great on paper, but we don't want to make the same mistake as Model 1, who are the losers, and we need proof of concept. Okay? So, I knew, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is an insight that I've gained. It doesn't matter really how, like, good your system is, or, like I said, all these sort of things matter. Model 1, Model 2, yes, this matters. But at the end of the day, proof of concept is the thing that's going to keep you around long term. Because let's say when Amazon was first launching, if Amazon didn't work, or if people weren't getting their packages, or if people just didn't like the system, doesn't matter how much money they invest into marketing or running ads. Eventually, people are just going to be like, okay, this process is bad. I used it once, it's bad. And it's just not going to work no matter how much you invest in marketing and media and all this sort of stuff. Okay? So this concept looks good on paper, but it actually looks better in real life. Okay? So after implementing this specific protocol within fitness businesses, this is what happened. So one of my clients, Paul, great client, great guy. He went from around 15K a month to roughly 64K a month. Okay, this was around, I think, 7 months. Okay, we changed Paul's offer entirely in a new segment and started getting traction from customers that were willing to pay $6,000, $7,000 per program. Okay, this may sound a little bit crazy to you. Maybe you're charging $500 a month. Maybe you're charging $250 a month, $1,000 one time, whatever, to $6,000, $7,000. Okay, how are you able to do this? Okay, another one of my clients, Shane, went from 20K to 55K. We changed his entire process and acquisition and overnight had people begging to pay upwards of 5K per program. Jason went from 7K to 20K. Jason was already in a non-commoditized market, and we just need to shift his acquisition channel. Once we launched our acquisition channel, he started signing clients for 3,000 to 4,000, even 5,000, 5,500 roughly per client. Okay, so these are some of the, I guess you could say, client results that I've kind of gotten myself. Even looking at myself, I make more than obviously some of these people, for example, like Jason, but it is within myself the same process that I use for myself that I implement with my clients. Okay, so when I was first starting in the coaching space, like for me, I was kind of a pure speculator. I did all the research and actually overanalyzed. And there comes a point where you simply just need to begin the client acquisition processes and move forwards. You can do these researches, you can analyze your market. This stuff matters. Yes, it matters. But once you select 2 to 3 markets to test, you have to move forwards. Just speculating will never make you a cent. Okay? So most people, research, contemplation, and then action. You need to do research. You need to do contemplation. Yes, this stuff matters, but you need to take action, talk to the market, and actually see, is that market resonating? Okay? Because at the end of the day, growth is learning multiplied by action. Okay? So it doesn't matter. Today you learned something. Today you're with me. You learned something that you need to be uncommoditized. You need to be selective. You need to understand that you need to be uncommoditized. You learned that. But if you don't take any action, I hate to say it, you're going to make, I can guarantee that you'll make $0. Okay? So if you made it to the end of this video and all this made sense to you, why you need to pick a market, not be seen as a commodity, why you need to, not be so stuck under 50K per month forever, you pretty much have 2 options. You keep doing what you're doing by yourself, stay stuck running in the same place, or if you're interested in starting and selecting a market, I've tested literally hundreds of markets with real data. Even if you're watching this and want to start this with me and partner up, go down to the description. Just on top of this, I'm starting something called the 5-month sprint. Okay? So the 5-month sprint, I haven't launched it purely yet, but what I'm doing is I'm taking on about 5 people who pretty much are starting out totally from scratch. So when I say from scratch, you don't have a selected market, you are uncommoditized, you don't have a selective one-of-one offer, and you don't have a proven acquisition system. If you don't have those, I would say you're starting. If you don't have those 3 things, what we're doing in 5 months is we're building out your market. We're selecting, testing market with our data. Hundreds that I've tested, I pretty much place you in a market. We make a one-of-one offer with that, and then we implement our school-based high-ticket acquisition system on top of that. You may see I'm going to be running actually some ads for this 5-month sprint because I'm finding 5 people that I actually want to work with, that I can actually partner with, who have discipline, who are not losers, who are actually willing to put work in. People like this who I'm going to partner with for 5 months. We're going to be doing something called the 5-month sprint. Okay? So if you're one of these people who want to be a part of this 5-month sprint, I haven't launched it yet, but you can go down, book a call with me. I'm going to paste my calendar below this video as well. So you can go down, find a call, schedule a call. I'll run you through the 5-month sprint and all the processes with that, and be a part of potentially the first 5 people I take on. Just a warning though, just a warning, okay? A lot of these people who book calls with me, I actually don't want to help, okay? You can tell they're undisciplined. You can tell they're just annoying people to work with. So if you think you're disciplined, if you think you have this, if you think you are a learner, willing to ask questions, go down, book a call with me, because without any action, you can learn, you can read, but you're not going to get anywhere, okay? So that's pretty much that. You may see some ads for the 5-month sprint coming up in a bit from me. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.